Good morning, students. Welcome to today's class. So we will discuss some more things about mean, median, and mode. Let us discuss a very important thing because we have found out mean, median, and mode, but we must also know how these are applicable. Okay. So mean, median, and mode, real life applications. Applications of mean, median, and mode. Okay. So real life applications of mean, median, and mode. We'll just simply discuss this so that you understand how these are applicable. Okay. Why are we learning this? Isn't it? So we must know how these are applicable. So see, mean is very frequently used to compare how two schools are performing. Suppose class 10 results have come out. Class 10 results have come out and you want to compare two schools. Then what do we find out? We find out the average results of both the schools. That means mean results of both the schools. The mean results of one school is 90%. Mean percentage mean percentage of one school is 90% and the mean percentage of other school is 91%. Then we will say that the second school is a good school, or performance of the second school is good one this year. Okay. So in these cases mean is used. Mean is most frequently used when there is very little difference between the observations. That means suppose this kind of data. Suppose someone got 75%, someone got 78%, then someone got 80%. So very little difference, 85%. So in this kind of data, we can very well use mean. What we will do is we will add on these percentages, 75 plus 78 plus 80 plus 85, and how many are there? 1, 2, 3 and 4. So divide by 4. So that will give us the average percentage of this particular school, isn't it? So, but when there are extreme differences, mean is not the correct representation. Mean will not represent correctly when there are extreme differences. What do I mean by that? I mean, so suppose certain kind of examples I will take. Okay, so suppose you have surveyed an area. This is mean. As I said, mean will be used to compare the results of two schools. Just as an example I gave, when you want to find out which school has performed better in class 10 results, like that. Okay, but in certain cases, suppose an area you have surveyed. You have surveyed an area and you found that the monthly income of the people in that area. Some people, one family is earning suppose 1,000 rupees per month. This kind of families do exist in India, isn't it? And some are suppose 5,000 per month. And suppose one more family is there who are earning suppose again 2.5 lakhs per month. Just as an example I am giving, okay? Because an area may have rich and poor people, isn't it? Per month. Then again, one more person may be earning 20 lakhs also per month. Now, students, if you want to find out the mean, if you find out the mean here, the correct picture will not come out. Correct picture will not come out because suppose I find out the mean 1000 plus 5000 plus then 2.5 lakh, that means 2 lakhs 50,000, then plus 20 lakhs. So if I divide by 4, then what I will get? Suppose 2 lakh 50,000. So 22 lakh 50,000, 20 lakhs plus 20 lakhs, again 2 lakhs 50,000, again suppose 5,000. I am just giving you an example, perfect example to understand. Okay, so let us discuss this. Plus 1 6 and 5 2 2 5 6 000 by 4. Now if you divide, you will get 4 5 is 20, 4 6 is 24, 4 4 is 16. So see the data. Now I am considering an area and I am surveying that area to find out the monthly income of the people living in that area. Okay, so one family I found rupees 1,000 per month. The full earning of the family is rupees 1,000 per month. Second family I found 5,000 rupees 5,000 per month, and again 2.5 lakhs per month, and again 20 lakhs per month. Okay, so all people have included. I have not only included the poor one but also the average and richer ones. Everyone I am including. Okay, so in this kind of case, see, suppose you want to find out the mean income. That means mean income is average income of the people of this area. Then we find out that it is like rupees. These are all in rupees. Okay, rupees it is 5,64,000. Is it a correct representation? So when the government finds out that the mean is this one, the government will feel that all the people of this area are rich. So this is not the correct representation of the situation in the area. Okay. So for this kind of cases, okay, every individual important. That means every individuals do not count here so much. Okay. As a whole, we have to see as a whole of the society. In this kind of cases, mean is not the correct representation, because here you see the poor people are not represented. When I find out the mean of all these incomes, the poor people, this and this people can be considered to be poor. Their needs will not come out, isn't it? Government will feel that all these people are rich. So what is the need of sending the certain kind of things here? Here in this kind of cases where we are connecting a large data, there is large variation. We will mainly use here median. Okay, but when the observations that you have collected, when these observations do not vary so much, all are nearby, then you can use mean to find out the approximate or correct result. Okay, but when the observations that you have done are varying so highly that one is like 1,000, the other is like 20 lakhs, then the mean will not give you the correct representation. In this way only, therefore, when the government sends their statisticians, they ask the statisticians to not only find out the mean, also they ask to find out the median also. Okay, median and sometimes mode also, to correctly know what kind of situation is there in this area. Okay, how many poor people are there, because median, when we find out the median, we arrange in the ascending order, then correct kind of people will come out. Suppose let me tell you, in this kind of situation what will happen is, median and mode will be helpful. Sometimes what will happen, rupees 1,000 will be there, and then rupees 2,000, and then rupees 5,000, and then as I said rupees 2.5 lakhs, and then these are incomes of families. Okay, so here again 20 lakhs, you see 20 lakhs. So here if the median is found out, median will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, third observation. Government will come to know that okay, here poor people are also there. Okay, so these kind of cases, median is very, very useful. Okay, so next comes your usefulness of mode. So let us discuss this also. Because otherwise it will be, why we are learning mean, median, and mode, isn't it? So when you see, you all go to showrooms. This John Place is there again. So many are there, isn't it? So when you go to showrooms to buy any your clothes and all, then you will see that M size clothes are very less. Sometimes you will find that M size clothes are very large size are there, small size are also there, but M size. Why? Because companies, when they have surveyed throughout India, they have found that M size, the clothes for the M size demand is very high. Why is it so? Because our Indian, according to our Indian size, M size is the most suitable size. Okay, so therefore, when the small size is there, small size, and then your M size, that is medium size, and then your large size. When these companies like this, all these multinational companies or even Indian companies, when they have surveyed throughout India, they found that this size is the most in demand. Okay. So then that means this size is occurring again and again. So this is what? This is mode. The frequency or the observation that occurs again and again is called mode. So this is medium size is here the mode. Same for the shoes. You will see that whenever shoes are purchased, like whenever these clothes are purchased by these companies or these showrooms, whenever the clothes are purchased in cartoons, the M size is given more. Because these companies, they have surveyed and found out the M size demand is more, so they give the M size more. So here M is the what? M size is the mode. Same here for the shoe size. Shoe size 7. If you observe, okay, 7 number is the most popular size. Why? Because whenever people whenever they go to buy these shoes, 7 size is the most prominent size. That means 7 size is most in demand. Okay, so whenever these retailers and showrooms and all they buy shoes, suppose size again shoe size, these are all shoes. Okay, size 6, size 7, and size 8, like this. Okay, this size is in most demand, in very big demand. Okay, so that means demand for this is very high in demand. So whenever these retailers buy these cartons of shoes, they will find that the 7 number is more, and they want also. They also want it that way, that 7 number should be more, because this is most in demand. Understood? So this is what? This is most occurring frequency. Understood? Most occurring observation, isn't it? Among 6, 7 and 8, which is the most occurring one? 7. So this is what? 7 is the mode. Understood? So this is how you can apply your mean, median and mode in our practical life. Okay? So again, one more formula is there, students. One more formula we want to discuss. It's very, very important for your annual exams also. This formula is like this: 3 median is equal to mode plus 2 mean. 3 median is equal to mode plus 2 mean. Okay, 3 median is equal to mode plus 2 mean. So this is a very, very important formula for you all, for as far as annual exams are also concerned. That means board exams. Okay, so suppose two values are given. Suppose median and mode are given. You can easily find out mean with the help of this formula. Suppose if median is equal to 21 and mode is equal to 20, find the mean. Okay, so median, what is the value of the median? 21. So 3 into 21 and mode is 20 plus 2 mean. Isn't it? Just you put the values. Median, in place of median you put 21, in place of mode you put 20. So 63 minus 20 is equal to 2 mean. So that means 43 is equal to 2 mean. That means 43 by 2 is equal to mean. So that means mean is equal to 21.5, like this. Okay. So students, next let us just see how to prepare a more than type and less than type table. This is very important topic for even your board exams. Okay. So with the help of this you can draw the ogive also, even if the ogive is not required, but still let us see how to draw the more than type and less than type table. Just as an example I will give you. Okay. production yield in kg per hectare, and this is number of farms. Okay, so you have to prepare a more than type and less than type table for the above data. More than type and less than type table. Okay. So So students, here is a table that is given to you. Production yield in kg per hectare. Production yield in kg per hectare and number of farms. Okay, that means production yield in kg per hectare means a survey was done in an area like Punjab suppose, or in the rural area of Assam also you can consider. A survey was made. Here in the survey it was found that production yield in kg per hectare, that means 50 to 55 kg per hectare. 50 to 55 kg per hectare producing. How many farms are there? 2 farms. 55 to 60 kg. 55 to 60 kg of wheat or your rice, anything like that. Okay, 55 to 60 kg per hectare producing. How many farms are there? 8. 60 to 65 kg per hectare producing. How many farms are there? 12. 65 to 70 kg per hectare producing. How many farms are there? 24. And 70 to 75 kg per hectare. Okay, per hectare production. In 1 hectare producing 65 to 70 kg of wheat. How many such farms are there? 24. Okay, so like that this table is given to you, and you have to make more than and less than type table. Both the tables you have to build for the same table. Okay, same given table is there. You have to make the more than type table also, and you have to make the less than type table also. So let us see how to make this table. So this table is given to you. Okay, now production yield in kg per hectare, whatever is written here you will write here. Number of farms you will write here. And now let us see. Let us see very carefully. Okay, so 50 to 55. You can observe that. You can observe that the production is, all the production is above 50, isn't it? Start from 50, 50 to 55, 55 to 60, 60 to 65, 65 to 70, isn't it? So if I say more than 50, if I say more than 50, then how many farms will come, students? If I say more than 50, then I have to add all, isn't it? Because all this data you see, all the production is more than or equal to 50. So here I wrote, you see, more than or equal to 50. In more than or equal to 50, all will come. All will come or not? Why all will come? Because you see, all the production is more than or equal to 50. So that's why you just add all this. 2 plus 8 plus 12 plus 24 plus 38 plus 16. So how much it will become? It will become equal to 100. Okay. Next, in the next step. So, and one more thing you will always notice is that always in the more than type table. In the more than type table, we are always considering the lower limit. Okay, in a class interval of 50 to 55, this is called the lower limit and this is called the upper limit. But in the more than type table, we will always consider the lower limit. Okay, so more than or equal to 50, all will come. Now, when I say more than or equal to 55, more than or equal to 55, that means this class interval consists of more than or equal to 55, and these are all also, all these you see, when you say more than or equal to 55, more than or equal to 55, the rest will also come, no? Because rest all are more than 55, but this number you see, 50 to 55 means what? It is less than 55. Okay, it is in this case less than 55. So if this is less than 55, if 2 is less than 55, so when I am writing more than or equal to 55, then this 2 will not come here. So that means out of this 100, from this 100 you have to subtract 2. So from this 100 if I subtract 2, how much I will get? 98. So next, in the next step, more than or equal to 60. More than or equal to 60. So from here we will count. Okay, because this interval is what? 60 to 65. So this is more than or equal to 60. And this all will also come. The remaining will also come. Isn't it? See, 65 to 70 is also more than 60. And 70 to 75 is also more than 60. And again, 75 to 80 is also more than 60. So all these will come. You see, 12 plus 24 plus. How will you find out? You will just, you see, when I was finding out more than or equal to 55, I just subtracted 2 from 100. When I subtract 2 from 100, I will get 98. When I was finding out more than or equal to 60, I will subtract 8. So when I subtract 8 from 98, I will get 19. So when I am finding out more than or equal to 65, I will subtract from this 98, I will subtract 8. When I am finding out more than or equal to 60, I will subtract this 8. From this 98, I subtracted 8, 90. And when I am finding out more than or equal to 65, I will just, from this 90, I will subtract 12. So how much I will get? 78. So when I am finding out more than or equal to 70, I will subtract, from this 78, I will subtract 24. I will get 54. In the same way, when I am finding out more than or equal to 75, I will subtract this 38 from 54. So I will get how much? 16. And in the same way, let us learn how to find out less than type table. Okay. So production yield in kg per hectare, number of farms. So now you see, student, when I say less than 55, how many farms will come? 50 to 55 means what? It is actually less than 55. So less than 55, how many farms will come? 2. Right here, 2. Again, less than 60. When I say less than 60, then how many farms will come? See, 50 to 55, this class interval is also less than 60 only, and this is also less than 60. So 2 plus 8, it will be 10. Try to understand this very carefully. Don't just simply see the pattern. Try to understand what is happening here. Okay. And again, when I say less than 65, and here one thing you will notice, in the more than type table, I have taken the lower class interval. In the more than type table, I have taken the lower class interval, and the less than type table, I am taking the upper class interval. Isn't it? So less than 55, how many? 2. And less than 60, how many? 2 plus 8, 10. Less than 65, how many? 2 plus 8 plus 12, that is 22. And less than 70, how much? 2 plus 8 plus 12 plus 24. Because in less than 70, when I say less than 70, then all these will come, isn't it? This plus this plus this plus this. When I say less than 75, then all these will come, this plus this. Because less than 70 means what? This also, this also, this also, this also, all will come from here to here, all will come, isn't it? In less than 75. So you will add all. And when I say less than 80, that means all I have to add. So this will be 80. See here, less than 55 is 2, less than 60, 2 plus 8, 10. Less than 65, 2 plus 8 plus 12. Because that means 10 plus 12, 22. And less than 70, till here 22, 22 plus 24, how much? 46. Less than 75, again with 38 you add 84. And less than 80, with 84 you add 1600. Understood? Understood? So this is how to build your more than type and less than type table. And from these two you can draw the OGIBs also. OGIBs are not part of our exam, but still we can see a bit about OGIB. Okay. So we just nothing much you see, friends. You just have to plot this. You just have to draw the two axes, and for drawing the more than type OGIB, this you have to put in the x-axis and this you have to put in the y-axis. Like that. Okay. And then you have to draw a freehand curve. That will give you the OGIB. Okay. So, okay, just we will try to see once. Okay. So I think this is okay. So we will draw this in a piece of graph paper. So I'm just showing you how to draw this OGIB. Okay. OGIB is a freehand curve. So on the x-axis I have plotted like this side, more than or equal to is there, no? 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, all that I have plotted on the x-axis. Production yield in kg per hectare. And this side, from 4 I have started. Okay, 4, 8, 12, that means 10 small squares equal to 4 you can take. 10 small squares you just take as a, on this axis you take 10 small squares equal to 4, on an x-axis, that means on the y-axis you take 10 small squares equal to 4 units, and on the x-axis you take 10 small squares equal to 5 units. Okay, so then you just put the values 50, 100, 50, 100 here. Then is 55, 98, 55, 98. Between after 96 you take 5 more small squares, that will become 98. Okay, so like this, and then is your 90, 60, 90, 60, 90, between 88 and 92, 60, 90. And then comes your 65, 78, 65, 78, 65, 78, and then comes your 70, 54, 70, 54, and then comes your 75, 16. So this you will just draw freehand curve. Okay. This is suppose A, your 50, 100. This is suppose B, your 55, 98. This is suppose C, 60, 90. This is suppose D, 65, 78. This is E, 70, 54, and this is F, 75, 16. Your graph may be a little different, but I am just showing you how to draw this. Okay. So this is A will be 50, 100. Here 50, 100. This point A. Then I have plotted 55, 90. This will be done in a piece of graph paper. Okay. So then 55, 98. 55, 98. B. Okay. 98 will be between 96 and 100. After 96 you take 5 more small squares. So you get 98. Then come your 60, 90. 60, 90 here. C. 60, 90. 60, 90. 88, between 88 and 92 here. After 88 you take 5 more small squares. Then comes your 65, 78. 65, 78. 65, 78. Point D. Isn't it? Then comes your 70, 54. 70, 54. E. Then comes your F, that is 75, 16. Okay. So this is the more than diagonal. In this way you can draw the less than diagonal also. Scale I have taken is scale is 10 small squares. 10 small squares equals to 5 units along x-axis and 10 small squares equals to 4 units along y-axis. Okay. Just I have drawn on the blackboard, so I have tried to adjust this 100 points from 4 to 100. I have tried to adjust this. That's why this diagram is like this. Okay. In graph paper, it will be properly made. Just an idea of how to make this. Okay. This on this side, on the y-axis, I have taken 10 small squares equal to 4 units, and on the x-axis, I have taken 10 small squares equal to 5 units. Okay. And you just plot this. So this will be the ogive. Okay. Ogive is not part of your board exams, but still I think you need to know this, so that's why I am giving. Okay. In the same way you can draw the ogive for the less than type graph, less than type table also. Okay.